Hey, amazing fans! Welcome to another relaxing moment with VIVA'S stories. Before we dive into the drama, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world to us. Now, grab a seat, sit back, relax, and let's journey into the story together. Nina hated bridal showers, especially her own. The fake smiles, the noisy cousins, the endless questions about how good he is in bed. But tonight wasn't just a shower. Her best friend, Naomi, had planned an after-party at a high-end rooftop lounge in Ikoyi, filled with Lagos elites and irresistible lighting. Over cocktails, the conversation shifted from bridal gowns to bedroom stories. That's when the name came up. Zayne, Naomi whispered. The man every woman wants but no one really keeps. Nina rolled her eyes. Please. What does he have? Gold? Another friend leaned in. Not gold. Patience. Precision. Passion. He doesn't just touch you. He reads your body like a diary. Laughter echoed. But Nina felt the chill of curiosity. 10 minutes later, he walked in. Zayne. 6 feet 3 inches, black on black tailored suit. Dreadlocks tied up. Smooth skin. The kind of aura that made women stare and men shift. Their eyes met. He smiled slowly, knowingly. Nina looked away, but something had already ignited. The rooftop was a blur of music, clinking glasses, and stolen glances. Zayne moved through the crowd like a wolf. Confident, calculating. He said nothing until he was right beside her. You keep staring, he murmured. Nina laughed nervously. I was trying to figure out what all the hype was about. And? Still undecided. He leaned in. I can help you decide. One night. No names. No regrets. It was reckless. Dangerous. Exactly what her life was missing. They left quietly. A penthouse suite. Candlelight. Just. Zayne was gentle, slow, almost reverent, like he'd been waiting for her forever. It was more than sex. It was surrender. She didn't even ask for his number. 3 days later, Nina sat beside her fiancé, Kelvin, watching a movie. His hand was on her thigh, but her body felt nothing. She tried. She really did. But every kiss felt wrong. Every touch felt too routine. At night, she dreamt of Zayne's hands. His voice. His silence. She searched Instagram. #Zayne Lagos, #RooftopKing. Dozens of women posted cryptic captions under pictures of him. She clicked one. Froze. One night with him and you'll never be the same. She was already proof. Nina returned to the rooftop lounge a week later. Just to see. Just once. He was there. Their eyes locked. He walked up to her like no time had passed. Didn't think I'd see you again, he said. I didn't plan to come back, she admitted. But my body did. That night was wilder. Deeper. No rush. No fear. You remembered everything, she whispered, breathless. Of course I did, he said. Your body told me everything the first time. This time, they exchanged numbers. And Nina's guilt began to bloom. Back home, something changed. Nina glowed. She smiled too much. She walked differently. Naomi noticed first. What's going on with you? Nina shrugged. I started moisturizing? Naomi raised an eyebrow. No. You've been touched. Deeply. And not by Kelvin. Nina froze. She wanted to confess. Instead, she bit her lip, smiling guiltily. Naomi leaned in. It's Zayne, isn't it? Nina's eyes widened. I knew it, Naomi whispered. You're glowing like all the other girls he ruins. Nina whispered back, almost trembling. But what if I don't want to be fixed? The messages started simply. Zayne, still thinking about you. Nina, don't. Zayne, why not? Nina, because I'm engaged. Zayne, so? That, so, hit her harder than expected. The next weekend, she met him in Lekki Phase 1, an Airbnb with dim lights and floor-to-ceiling windows. She told herself it was closure. But as Zayne peeled off her jacket, kissed her neck, and whispered, You came because you missed how I make you feel, she surrendered again. And again. Later, as they lay tangled under the sheets, she whispered, "This is the last time." Zayne leaned up on his elbow, studying her face. "You keep saying that, but your body keeps saying something else." She slapped his arm playfully. He caught her hand and kissed her palm like a secret. The morning after their third weekend together, Nina woke up to a message from Naomi. "Nina, you need to check Twitter right now." Nina's heart stopped. She clicked. There it was, a grainy photo of her and Zayne leaving a hotel. The caption below it, "Zayne's newest toy. Sorry to her fiancé." Thousands of retweets. Comments flooded in. People tagged her Instagram. Some screenshots included her bridal photo shoot. Kelvin saw it. He didn't call. Didn't text. But that night, at her mother's dinner party, he showed up, with a photo printed out. "Is this you?" Her throat closed. "Kelvin, answer me." Everyone fell silent. "It's not what you think," she whispered. "Really?" he barked. "So what is it then?" No one saved her. No one even breathed. She ran out in tears, her engagement ring slipping off as she clutched her chest. She found herself at Zayne's apartment that night. Shaking. Makeup smudged. Heart in shreds. He opened the door, saw her face, and didn't ask anything. Just wrapped his arms around her and pulled her close. They sat in silence for an hour before she spoke. "They're all judging me." Zayne's jaw tensed. Then he turned to her, voice low. "You think I care what they say? You think I don't know what it means to be judged?" She looked at him, eyes searching. He sighed. "I used to be an escort." Her breath caught. "Women paid me to make them feel wanted. Important. Not just in bed, but emotionally. Until I hated it. Until I met you." Her eyes filled with tears. "So I was just another job?" He touched her cheek. "No. You were the only one I didn't charge. That should tell you everything." Nina moved out of her family home. Her parents called her selfish. The wedding was cancelled. Kelvin blocked her. She stopped seeing Zayne too. She needed space, not from him, but from her broken self. She started therapy. Learned about emotional neglect. About how she used lust to escape. And how that night with Zayne wasn't a mistake, but a mirror. Naomi stood by her. So did one or two real friends. Zayne sent her a message every Sunday. "I'm still here." She never replied. But she read every one. A year passed. Nina walked onto the stage at her book launch, wearing a red silk gown and a new kind of confidence. Her memoir, The Night That Changed Me, was already trending online. She took a deep breath as she read from the final chapter. "I thought love was supposed to look a certain way. But sometimes what saves you doesn't come wearing a ring, it comes wearing truth." Applause thundered. Cameras flashed. But her eyes searched for one thing. One man. She spotted him in the last row. Zayne. Black shirt. Quiet eyes. As the room emptied, she walked straight to him. "Did you like it?" He smiled. "I lived it." She took his hand. This time, "I'm not leaving." He leaned down, forehead against hers. "Then don't." Special note, read this before you judge her. This is not just another romance story. It's an explosion of desire, consequence, and truth. She had a ring. She had a man. She had a wedding dress already measured and altered. And yet, she left it all behind for one night. Just one night with a man whose name she didn't even ask for. A man who didn't promise her love, forever, or even breakfast in the morning, but gave her something else. A version of herself she never knew existed. This isn't just about sex. It's about identity. It's about that haunting question. What if I'm settling? Every woman has felt it. That tug in her chest. That whisper in her bones. The ache that says, there has to be more than this. But society tells her to be grateful. To smile. To behave. To wear the ring, smile for the pictures, and lock her true desires behind a veil. But Nina didn't listen. And that makes her dangerous. She wanted an escape, but found a man who mirrored her suppressed fire. Zayne. The forbidden name on every woman's lips. The man who doesn't just touch bodies, he awakens souls. He didn't come to offer her a future. He came to show her who she was always meant to be. What follows is more than a steamy rendezvous. It's a breakdown of comfort, a betrayal of what's expected, and a chaotic dive into what happens when lust meets truth, and love is born in the ashes. But love doesn't come clean. It comes messy, public, shaming, unapologetically raw. Yes, she cheated. Yes, she lied. Yes, she glowed. But do you really know her story? Because behind every homewrecker headline is a woman who was never home in the first place. This story is about the complexity of choice, about passion that redefines logic, about the kind of connection that doesn't knock politely, but kicks down the door and demands your full attention. And in the end, she rebuilds. Not for a man. Not to prove herself to society. But because brokenness is sometimes the only way we meet our real selves. She wanted just a night but ended up addicted to his touch, is not your regular romantic fling. It's a bold commentary on the emotional starvation many women suffer in silence. It's for every woman who's ever felt unseen, unheard, untouched, and for every man wondering why his woman changed after meeting someone else. This story will shake your morals, challenge your beliefs, and make you wonder, if I were Nina, would I have done the same thing? Don't judge her too quickly, because sometimes what feels wrong is just what your soul was screaming for. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell for newly created content.